My name is Lone Flyvholm. I'm a veterinarian and work for the Norwegian Seafood Federation, representing the interests of approximately 800 member companies, including both aquaculture, marine fishing, and seafood production. I will give a short introduction to Norwegian salmon farming and the impact and perspectives when it comes to sea lice. The coastline is divided into 13 production zones. There are a total of 875 unique fish farm locations, on which an average of 600 locations are active at any time during the year. With an uneven distribution of farms within the production zones, some zones have a higher density of fish farm locations. In 2020, it was reported an average monthly amount of about 455 million fish in open sea cages. A total of about 1.4 million ton round slaughter weight was produced in Norway. Sea lice is highly regulated and is the main limitation for further growth due to the perception of sea lice being a burden for wild salmon. Farmers are committed to perform weekly lice counts when the water temperature is above 4 degrees Celsius. Legal limits are 0.5 adult female lice per fish, with a lower spring limit at 0.2 female lice 6 weeks during the springtime. After a transition period, the traffic light was put in force in 2020. Based on different models, the impact from lice on wild salmon is estimated. Number of fish and sea temperature are the main drivers for model outcome. If the models estimate an unacceptable level of lice larval production, the farmers within a production zone must reduce the production. With a few exceptions on farm level, including not exceeding 0.1 adult female lice based on only one treatment during one production cycle. Zones with unacceptable levels are colored red. Yellow zones can keep the production volume, and green zones will be offered to expand. The models are highly debated, as they do not necessarily reflect the actual impact from lice on wild salmon. So to sum up, lice is highly regulated and is the main limitation for further growth, with very low lice limits. The lice burden itself is rarely a health issue for the farm fish. The limit is based on a concern for wild salmon. The direct cost for lice treatments is estimated to about $630 million per year. To obtain good fish welfare for the farm fish, lowering costs for lice treatments, and to meet as low lice counts as possible, there is a high focus on prevention. Fish welfare and the control of lice will always be better the lower one works in the pyramid. And it is a goal to avoid treatments as far as possible. Genetics, larger smolts, and strategic zonal output are some of the biological mechanisms and strategies used. There's a rising trend of using big data to know when to do the correct measures at the right time. When it comes to reduction of the lice burden, there has been a general trend in reduced use of chemical drugs since the introduction in 2016 of non-chemical methods like thermal and flushers and combination of these. The development of alternative non-chemical treatment was driven due to the lice resistance to different medical drugs. Also, impacts from regulation can be reflected in the total number of treatments. Until 2017, farmers were required by regulation to do a coordinated delicing during the spring, which highly contributed to sea lice chemical resistance. The lower spring lice limit on 0.2 female lice replaced the coordinated spring delicing. The sea lice limits have also gone from indicating when farmers had to start reduction to an absolute threshold limit, which means farmers now must intervene at an earlier point when lice counts rises in order to not violate the lice limits given in the regulation. A bit more than half of all medical prescriptions is ivermectin that also have a preventative effect on lice infestation. As for prevention methods, there's a high focus on choosing the right treatment at the right time. Not all cages within a location may be treated if it's not necessary. For some fish groups, a chemical treatment will be better than non-chemical and vice versa. Any handling of fish groups is stressful, so to point out the right choice of treatment and carry it out well planned can be crucial when it comes to fish welfare and to successful reduction of sea lice. To sum it up, our main obstacles is that we have so many diverse considerations like environment, wild salmon, fish welfare, to mention some. We also have a lot of documentation, but still a lot of uncertainties as scientific papers are focusing on a single factor and not all possible considerations combined. We still have a way to go to know how to use the data we produce in the right way. We need to understand lice and how to keep the lice burden controlled. Great use of the tools that are available today and what assessments that should be done to use these in the best possible way is an ongoing process. To ensure optimal implementation to preventative measures and when to perform necessary de-licing operations with the aim of ensuring good effect, good fish welfare and minimal discharges to the surrounding environment. Thank you for the attention.